Okay, so in today's video we will talk about how many reps do you actually need to do in order to build muscle. And I'm sure that's a question you've been asking yourself at least once. For me, I've asked myself this question when I started fitness. So just keep that in mind, they all work. But in this video I'm going to explain why they work and what are the pros and cons, because it comes at a cost. So let's take a step back and look at what are the different rep ranges. So we have 1 to 6 reps, which is usually the strength rep range, and then 6 to 12 reps, which is the muscle building one, the hypertrophy one, and then 12 to 15 and plus, which is endurance, right? So we all know these rep ranges, or if you don't know, it's good to know now. And but now I'm gonna get into a concept called effective reps, or stimulating reps. So let's take this pen for example, and I do 20 reps with it. You're gonna be like, James, that's not heavy enough. You're not gonna grow from that. You're right, it's not heavy enough. But let's say now I do 10,000 reps, right? Even though it's not heavy, I'm gonna struggle to do that curl, that pen curl, I don't know what you call it. And so effective reps is not about how much you're lifting, it's not about the weights, it's about how close to failure you are. And that's the concept with effective reps. So basically, when you're struggling to lift a weight, let's say you're doing barbell curl and doing the last few reps and it's a slow motion compared to the first reps, it's really slow, that's when you grow. That are the effective reps. They are the one that your muscle fibers are exerting themselves, like they're basically pushing beyond what they're capable of, or thought they were capable of, and your body, next time you're gonna do that exercise, like a week after, it's gonna grow. Like, is it gonna allow you to do more of that exact same exercise? So these are effective reps. Your body's gonna be like, whoa. This one is like struggling. That's when your body's gonna be like, okay, next training session is doing the exact same exercise. I'm gonna increase the muscle fibers. So you have a certain amount of muscle fibers here. It's gonna increase the size of it. It's gonna increase the joint stiffness, and then it's gonna allow also to have your muscle fibers to exert more force for their size. So your body is gonna be like, okay, I'm ready for the next one. And I'm gonna get into that concept called progressive overload. So as you can see, I talked about effective reps. So it doesn't really matter how heavy you lift, but what matters is how close to failure you are. And of course, let's say I take the bicep curl as an example again, and I do like 100 pounds, like 80 pounds, I do 10 reps. I struggle around 8-9 reps and I do 4 sets, I do that. And I'm getting these effective reps, but the week after I do the exact same one, 4 sets, 80 pounds, 10 reps, and I'm not really struggling anymore if I'm getting to 10 reps. It's painful, but I'm not struggling as much as the first time. And then the week after, I'm doing it again. And I haven't changed anything, the weight is the same, I'm doing the same, and I'm not struggling anymore. It's pretty easy, it becomes the pen. Not as light as the pen, but you get the idea. So now what you need to do, the progressive overload is a pretty simple concept, is your body adapted to that thing, to that way, to that same way of training. Now you need to do something to change it. In order to change it, you can increase the volume. That would be an idea. And the volume is basically the number of reps times the number of sets times the number of weights. So you get a big number, and that's the training volume that you need to do. And usually with progressive overload, the idea is to increase that number every single time if you can. And sometimes you're gonna plateau, but the idea is to keep the same number of effective reps, because if you do the exact same workout, the number of effective reps is gonna decrease because your body is used to it. But if you keep changing the volume, if you keep increasing it, the effective reps is gonna remain the same. And that's the idea. You wanna keep having that number of effective reps so you can get growth. So your body can be like, whoa, we're not used to that. Let's increase the size of muscle fibers and all these different things that come together. So that's the idea. With progressive overload, I'm sure you get the point now. You just want to keep increasing the weights, or increasing the number of reps, or increasing the number of sets. And sometimes too much volume is too much volume. There's such a thing, so you gotta be careful. But make sure you try to always kind of progress. It's never gonna be linear, but at least try to aim for that. And if you like kind of plateau, try to do a deload and then try to go back. So that's the idea with the progressive overload. And So now you can look at the rep ranges and you can understand why do they all build muscle? Well, if you look at the 1 to 6 reps, you're building strength, but it's pretty heavy. And that weight, to be able to lift that weight, you're gonna exert your muscle fibers to the max, right? It's gonna be really tough. So you're gonna build muscle with that. But the downside is, you can have like joint pain if it's too heavy. It's gonna be a long workout. If you ask a powerlifter how long they're training for, they're gonna tell you 2 hours or an hour and a half. It's pretty long workouts. And then usually it's pretty demanding. It's like it fatigues you. Central nervous system, your CNS is getting tired because it's heavy weight, right? So that are the downside, but like on the other side, you're getting stronger and you're getting bigger. So that's pretty good. And then let's take a look at the endurance one. So same thing with the band. The problem with that one is just like the weight is not heavy enough, but I'm still getting effective reps, right? It's just gonna take so long. I'm gonna do like 100 and 100 of reps to be able to reach that effective rep, to reach this effective reps. So it's the same thing. It's gonna take a long time. And research has shown that when people were doing that one, they would throw up because it's very demanding. It's the same thing with the CNS. It's actually more demanding than the heavy lifting because it's demanding on your body. It's like kind of a cardio workout, right? Your body is doing so many reps and you have to do it a lot of reps to be able to get the same effective reps compared to the heavy one. So same thing, takes longer and it's very demanding on the CNS, and it's also like demanding on your cardiovascular system because you're doing a lot of reps. So if you don't have cardio, it's gonna be tough for you. So that's why we have that magic number, which is 8 to 12 reps. So that's why, or 6 to 12 reps. That's why people usually use that one, because it doesn't really hurt your joints and it's not really demanding on the cardio side, and combine, like you're getting stronger, you're getting bigger, but it's not too long of a workout and it's not too demanding on your body, and you get a lot of effective reps out of it. So it's a really good balance. So as you can see, they all work. So it's up to you to choose which one you prefer. Personally, I use all of them. So when I do a workout, it's pretty simple. I do a compound exercise. The first one is gonna be strength related, so 1 to 6 reps. And then my second exercise and third and fourth is gonna be like all the bodybuilding one, so 6 to 12 reps. And then my isolation exercises, the last few ones are 12 to 15, so really high number of reps. So you get all the benefits of all of them. And usually towards the end of the workouts, you're getting fatigued, so getting effective reps it's pretty straightforward, it's pretty easier. So yeah, that's kind of the idea. I'm sure now you understand how your muscle grow. It's not about how heavy you lift, but about how close to failure you are. And it's easier to get closer to failure because when it's heavy. If it's not heavy, it's gonna take longer. So it's a trade-off. Do what works for you. I hope it helped you, it helped me. I'm gonna put all the references below and on to the next one.